stream is live. Look at that guy.
We're dancing. Dancing on top of the tower.
Not see anything on YouTube? It may take a minute. My AI things. All right, let's. And we will be right back. Media assets. Overlay. What's my overlay?
Pretty nice dancing bear.
That's a Merlot.
Yeah.
Merlot.
Okay, I can't get rid of Merlot. Okay, how do we get rid of Merlot?
Just throw him off the top of the roof.
Yay.
There you go.
Well, welcome, Eric and Rick and anyone watching live. I'm assuming I'm going live. Tonight we're going to recap our favorite Anjuna moments from this past year here in Northern California. This live is not anything formal. It's just real talk. And be patient with me. I'm learning. I've never gone live before. So let's see. And also, if there's not many people here in the chat or on the live, I cannot see comments. There we go. Don't see anything. Wonderful. All right.
So I can connect to YouTube. I'm trying, let's see. Google will allow StreamYard to access this info.
Okay, why is it? Okay. First thing.
We're having trouble connecting.
You on YouTube.
All right, I'll let Darren handle that. Eric's fine.
You just shared
I'm
what?
still here.
Harry, well, I don't see your live face. Live viewer comments show up on StreamYard. This is an example. Live, join the chat.
Yep, we've got nothing playing. Wonderful. Show comments in the threads. There's comments. Regular. I thought I was ready, and we are not live on YouTube.
So the live counter, guess that doesn't mean anything.
We're having trouble connecting to your YouTube account. This may be an issue with YouTube. Please try connecting again and contact us.
Are you saying I am live, hun?
Oops.
Okay. All right, here we go. All right, Eric, you back with us?
I just had to sneeze. Hold on.
New
power of
comments
live.
appear here in real time for everyone to see. Interesting. Okay. I don't see it.
All right.
Hey.
Welcome. So, Eric, let's start with you. I know you got a limited time here. So, in Northern California, what would you say was the show of the year for you? I think I know the answer, but,
Yes, the show of the year was definitely Above and Beyond at Shoreline Amphitheater, a theater which I spent a lot of time at growing up. It's only 15 minutes away from my childhood home where I went to high school. Saw a lot of shows there, a lot of groups, a lot of friends. And then I got to see Above and Beyond and go on stage. So I'd say that's the best night of 2025 for me, for sure.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, and I think I've got, bear with me here, video file. Let's see. Open and add to stage.
There you go.
You got it.
Yep, I recorded it from where I was standing.
And my parents were there too, and they weren't probably that far away from where you were recording that video.
There's Eric again on stage.
Woo! Unbelievable. Again? Oh.
Yeah, you know. Okay. Besides the Above and Beyond, what's another show that really resonated with you? There were
a lot of really good shows this year. I quickly went back through my calendar as we were setting up, and I remembered a handful. Oliver Smith, that's a big one. Whenever he comes to San Francisco, he plays in Halcyon. He usually plays until 4 a.m. consistently. That was a fantastic show, and he's going to come back next month. Same city, same club, Halcyon, San Francisco. Sultan and Shepherd, I saw them twice in 2025. Once they did a live performance, so that's with like the instruments and everything. They did that toward the beginning part of the year at the Warfield, and then they played 2 shows in one day in September. They had a day party at one of those hotels in the Tenderloin, and then they went to audio right after that and had a night show. So that was an amazing day.
Yeah, was there, speaking of, what I'm big on is venues. So my first question is an underrated video or venue in Northern California that you might have gone and seen. It revolves around 5 or 6. I guess the Warfield would be a unique place that you don't normally go for EDM. So my question to you is like an underrated venue, and then back that up with your favorite venue in the city. What would you say?
Ooh, okay. Underrated venue. Man. I went to some fun places that were kind of, that Polaris kind of put on, that were new, that were maybe a little bit more underground. Those are really interesting. I went back to the Cow Palace when they had Dream State there. I went to the Cow Palace when Armin played there back in like the 2000s. So, almost 20 years ago. And then to go back there to the Cow Palace and see Armin again, that was definitely a full circle moment for me, for when Dream State, when they had that 2-day festival. It's tough because I've been to a lot of venues outside of San Francisco, and there's a lot of better venues outside of San Francisco. But
San Francisco is doing it right? I mean, there's plenty of artists and there's plenty of opportunities in the city.
Oh yeah, there's nothing. I wouldn't say there's anything bad, for the most part. But I think honestly, standout venue was Sacramento, was the Barn. Seeing you all in your home field up there. Oh yeah,
it was open air.
It was open air. Was definitely one of the top shows of the year too. Just the vibe, the people, the atmosphere, the space, the artist, of course. There was food. The pizza was really good. And then it was over early, so if you wanted to go to bed, you could go to bed and at a reasonable time.
Yeah, they're doing it right at the Barn. I definitely agree, and it was so nice that Sacramento offered that, and that the guys at the Barn are doing that. I'm going to eventually have them on a podcast. So do you prefer, Eric, the intimate club shows or the big outdoor events?
100% intimate club shows, and that was the case that I found very quickly with myself when I saw Above and Beyond this fall. I would see them in the big shows, which were great and had their own special uniqueness to them. But when I got back into that club with Above and Beyond and saw those smaller shows that they played, sometimes after parties that they would play, that really felt like home base. That really felt like where the music, where the magic truly happens. So I always like those intimate club shows usually more than the big stadiums.
When you first started going to these events younger, was it any different, or do you think
Yeah, when I started in the 2000s, which were unfortunately pretty late for a lot of the people I know in this community, I was going to a lot of warehouses, small venues, and it wasn't really until Tiesto started to blow up, when suddenly we were finding ourselves at these big, massive venues, and then EDC really blew up in LA, and that was becoming massive. And then of course they moved to Vegas, and things really took off from there. But before 2009, 2010, I was consistently going to mostly smaller shows, and then it kind of slowly transitioned to bigger, and it's really, there's a lot of back and forth with this industry on that.
I would ask, when you have an event that you're going to with the venue in mind, what's most important to you when you think, okay, we got something at 10:15, or we got something at Audio, or at Halcyon, or at the Barn? Is it the venue itself? Is it the sound that's important, the visuals, the artists? Or for like Rick and I, the ability to sit, that's our favorite thing.
Yeah.
Or who's going to be there? Like for me,
yeah,
as I have more family and more friends, the number one important thing to me is who's going to be there. Who am I going to see? So what of those aspects is the most important to you when choosing an event, or after you choose an event, you're going to go, what's you excited to see?
Yeah, I think what comes down to me choosing an event is the artists that are playing the event, and the people that are going to be there. That's pretty much top two. The venue can sometimes make a difference. What's rough is that sometimes the venue can make things really, really tough. If the music is too loud or the bass is too loud, if there's a lot of people in the venue that are just not kind people, or are just too messed up and causing problems. There's a venue can. Oh, lost my light. Hold on. There we go. The venue can really enhance it, but it can also really take away from the experience too. But ultimately, if you're seeing a person that you love and you're with people that you love, that's going to be the most important thing.
I don't. This may be tough to ask, but I want to try to ask it. Is there a venue that comes up in the city and you're just kind of like, yeah, I'll pass unless so and so goes. Okay, well they're going. All right, I'm gonna go. I remember I could edit this out too, so I'm just.
Yeah, there's venues that are I think better than others in San Francisco, but there's no venue that I've like cut myself off from. The more Anjuna people that are there, the better experience that we usually have. And there issues have happened to me or the people that I'm with at all venues. There's no one venue that's safe. There's no one venue that's like 100%. There's no venue that's 100% either way. That's like gonna ruin your night, or you're gonna have the best time no matter what. And that's just the nature of public events. Unless you have a private event where you can control the people that are there, there's always a wild card if something can happen. But yeah, I haven't cut myself off from any venues yet.
Okay, and Sarah's in this backstage, and we'll bring her in. I want to shout out Anjuna Patty. Patty's on the back end of the live chat. Fanny, hey Fanny, hey Joseph, thanks for being here. Love it. And then Angelo Melodic, my boy Angelo Gonzalez from Sacramento, one of the nicest guys in the industry. Appreciate you showing up, Angelo. I can expect a few Anjuna tunes when he's on the deck, so I appreciate them showing up. And so final question, Eric, before I let you go, thanks for being here.
I'll stick around for a little longer. That's okay. I'm not.
Do you remember your first Anjuna show in Northern California? And if so, who did you go with? Rick, so have to think about that one too, Rick and Sarah.
Yeah. So pre-COVID, was following Anjuna, but I wasn't like really a Anjuna fan as much as I am now. Back when I started, I was just exploring everything. I saw Above and Beyond when I was pretty young, and just knew that everybody was great, but I didn't really like understand Anjuna yet. And then I think the first time that I really understood Anjuna was when I took my partner Michelle to see Above and Beyond for her first Above and Beyond show at the Common Ground tour at the Bill Graham. And just like immediately, as soon as we walked in, it's as it always was, people wanted to meet us. What's your name? Oh, have you been to a show before? And they wanted to meet her, and they wanted to talk to her. And we had the best time together. And then after COVID, was really the show that really sticks in my memory is there's two. There's seeing Simon Doty at Public Works when you all were there outside.
So when we met.
Yeah, and then the other one was Gabriel and Dresden did an outdoor show at the Midway when we were all in the little squares. And those two shows in particular really like got me to realize that like this is, yes, like I had always known that I liked Anjuna. I'd always followed it. But that's really what got me reconnected with everyone after COVID and ultimately on the journey that I'm on now, which is basically nonstop Anjuna shows every chance that I get.
Yeah, real quickly, I mean, our first show was in 2018 at the Bill Graham for Above and Beyond, and we had learned about it from 250 at the Gorge, and it came up on my YouTube feed. I'm like, what's this, Patty? We got to take a look at this. So the Above and Beyond at Bill Graham, the second one was Anjuna Beach. That's where I met Rick. Rick was the first person, the Anjuna family that I met was there at the beach. And then further on in 2020, that's when I met you, Eric. I think you came and picked us up at our hotel at the Intercontinental. Patty's like, he could be, you don't know this guy. I said, well, listen, what can he hurt? And you drove in and, you didn't have the Eric Medeiros look, but then you changed into it. I think you bought us a meal and everything. We're very hospitable. Thank you. Thinking of the word.
Oh yeah,
and
of course. Good memory.
The 2020, you had to, you had limited tickets for sale. You had to be outside. You had to wear a mask. That half the people did, right? And then you kind of had to dance to the square. And Simon was stuck. He was like in a inlet. It wasn't out amongst everybody. That was good times. And Fanny says, yeah, Simon Doty at Public Works. I didn't know Fanny. I didn't know anybody there. So, anyways. One thing I want to do, if I can, I want to real quickly, let me see if I can do this here. Add video file, and let's see, where is, I think this one? Let me see. Yeah, because Torchu is in the chat, my boy Christian from Sacramento, and here's Torchu when Hausman played his song, Chrono Break.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Is that? Yeah, it's a little bit delayed. Play it again. All right, I had to show welcome Portu with that. So, at Midway, Mrs. Gerald event, he's been producing music and we didn't know, and he brings up how.
I watched your sound, Aaron.
Bro hug. What's that? What was that, Rick? Can we hear me? You okay? You with us, Rick?
I'm still here.
How about Rick? Rick is looking a little pale right there.
It's frozen, maybe. Maybe he's frozen.
Can you know
how
hear
these
me?
things go.
Yeah, I can hear you, Rick. Okay, let me go to oops. Change up the song a little bit. That. All right.
Okay, I'm gonna get out of here and go dance.
Go dance.
Eric, I appreciate
usual.
you stopping by. Much appreciated. And listen.
Yeah, I'll check out the stream later. Thanks, Darren, for putting this together. Thank you.
All right, Eric. Appreciate it.
See ya.
With that, let's add Sarah to the.
There's Sarah.
Well, hello, Sarah.
Darren, I can't hear you.
Unmute her.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes,
I
we
can hear Sarah. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi. How
So-
are
I
you?
just joined, so I missed whatever you guys chatted
I
about.
see that. He just interviewed Eric.
So, Rick, let me ask
I can't
you.
hear Darren. Can you?
Can you hear me okay,
Yeah.
Rick?
Yeah, I can hear him.
I can't. Did I mute something?
It's like I was waiting for that eyeball, that cat to come in, the cat filter. Like, I am not a cat.
Interesting.
We can hear you, Rick.
I can't hear him. There's music, but I can't hear Eric or Darren.
Oh, all right. Let me mute you and talk to Sarah. Stay with us, Rick.
Thanks.
All right, so Sarah, we're talking about Northern California events in 2025. So we often see you at events. So what was the show of the year for you in 2025 in Northern California?
I mean, A and B for sure. Shoreline.
I know
mean,
that's an easy
yeah,
layup.
I missed what Eric said, but I mean, we got to push the button at Shoreline. I mean, it was amazing, right? It's hard to top that. We're gonna be chasing that one for years.
I could.
But I mean, besides that though, just like having everyone together, the whole Anjuna fam at that show was just incredible. I thought. I mean, it really felt like a coming together of all these people that I've gotten to know over the last few years, and of course the vibes are great. It's A and B, right? That was for sure the number one for me this year.
I forgot that you pushed the button up there with Kayla and Eric and a few others. Yeah, that's epic. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. I mean, we never go down front, so I guess we can't do that. So
You were close.
I know, and I know we could have walked down there because I'm kind of like a rules follower, so I'm going to stay where my assigned seats are. But we had a fatty group of people in front of us that just would not shut up, so we went back 2 rows, and other people went back, but yet it couldn't. Then I was going to go down there, and I'm like, no. But and did you go to the pre-party for A and B?
I just for like a half an hour. I rolled in late. I took a nap in my car.
Yeah, that was because of that. Let me share this video files. Let's see, A and B. Well, yeah, there we go. And at the stage. I mean, that was just a blast right there.
It's great. The after party was great too. Same bar. We all went back, right?
Yeah,
It's
we
nice
did.
to be able to chat with people in an environment that's quieter and get to know people a bit more. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Rick, are you with us yet, Rick?
It looks
Can you hear us? Nope. Okay.
frozen.
That's a bummer. So let me ask you this. I'm big on venues, all the venues in the area. And I asked Eric, Sarah, about maybe an underrated venue or consequently a venue that you really look forward to that you see on the calendar and you go because you just love the venue. So it's a roundabout way saying, what's your favorite venues within San Francisco or even Sacramento? Because you've been out to the barn.
Yeah, the barn is great. The barn is definitely one of the top ones, I'd say, for me. The vibes are always good in there. I went to the most recent thing there. It was like a house music thing this year. Unfortunately, the same place when they did Anjuna Deep was so great, right? This year, it was a different lineup, but it was still great. The barn is always fun. I know audio is not your favorite spot, but I like audio when there's a good crowd in there. So,
Well, we will be there this Saturday for Cree, so
I'll see you hopefully. But I there were some new venues this year. I went to that Eli and Fur show on Treasure Island, which was at a little cafe. Unfortunately, didn't have like the view of the city that you normally have at the Treasure Island shows when they have it at the Gold Bar Distillery or whatever distillery that is. But it was that was an incredible show. Super intimate, like great spot. So that was a new venue for me this year. And the Phoenix is like wrapping up their shows this year. But that show with Sultan and Shepard, the day party there was incredible. Like the crowd that place gets is always good. I feel it's it's in the Tenderloin, so not the greatest neighborhood, but that was fun. I know I think they're gonna sell that place, right? So they're wrapping up the shows there. But that was another good one this year.
Yeah, that Araceli's, I think, on Treasure Island. Let me hold on. I gotta get the background music a little loud. It's either like on or off. Yeah, the Treasure Island. I asked Rick and I think Edgardo. I haven't been to the Gold Bar Distillery there. I've been there, when a music event. But important for me in a venue is to be able to sit down. I don't think there was any places to sit down at Gold Bar. Have you seen an event there at Gold Bar when you're looking out at the city?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I went to Vintage Culture there, and the views are incredible, but not so much seating. And the little cafe where they had the Eli and Fur show, I think everyone was standing on the benches because it was almost like the benches went around the edges, and people were standing up there dancing, which was cool. But they actually did have places to sit like farther back from the stage, which was kind of nice too.
All right, in the chat, I see Antonio, my boy from Bakersfield. Antonio and Celia, thanks for being here. Miss you guys. They come up occasionally to events from Bakersfield, so I'm glad they joined the chat. Do you prefer, Sarah, the intimate club show or big outdoor events these days?
I think it's a different vibe. The outdoor shows are fun because you get the daytime crowd, which is great, right? I really like a good intimate club show. I mean, the Sultan and Shepard after party, which is fantastic at Audio, so fun. But I think a lot of it depends on the vibes and the crowds, right? So it seems like these days, Midway's opening up the Pier 80 warehouse, and they have Fisher just played, right? Moscone, they're moving to this. A lot of these shows are becoming these big warehouse shows with like 20,000 people in there, right? And so I think I kind of prefer the smaller stuff, like the little cafe shows and those kind of things with the real like Anjuna people. I think they're always the best ones.
Yeah, I have to. I was gonna have Nate on NG Music because he went to that Fisher show, and then I saw on Instagram the massive of the Moscone Center that is just enormous, and I don't know if that's going to be a new venue for 2026 coming out, but man, and listen, I'm not real familiar with Fisher. I don't know him and his music, but it definitely looked like a huge deal. So Sarah, when you, and I asked Eric this, and I wanted to ask Rick, I don't know where Rick is. Brad's in here. Let's welcome Brad real quickly. Add to stage. And Brad, can you hear us okay?
Hey, Brad.
I can. Can you hear me?
Nice. Got his beanie on.
Love it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, good.
All good. So Sarah, the when you choose an event, and listen, Sarah's our Anjuna soccer mom, and I always say, she's got the van and she's got the kids and the soccer ball.
No minivan.
Well, let everyone think you have a minivan, okay? Play with it. Anyways, and she just puts it in reverse, hits a reverse, and hits the brakes. Boom, all the kids and the soccer balls fly out, and then she throws it in the go, and then she's gone. I'm gone to the event. So anyways, I think it's remarkable that you make the events that you do, and you have deal with your husband. He watches the kid, and then he goes and does his own thing. So kudos to our
Thanks,
soccer.
Aaron. Yeah, I mean, it's ultimately to see all of you guys. I mean, all these wonderful people that I've met over the last few years. Like, it's it makes all the tired days worth it.
Yes, and so okay, back to when you choose your venue, you sit down with your husband. Oh, you don't sit down with your husband. You just tell him, "Oh, honey, I'm gone."
I learned my lesson.
There's not really too much planning, but what's important to you about a venue? Is it the artist ultimately? Is it the venue itself? Is it the sound system? Is it the visuals? Or just, the ability to sit, if that's important. Like I said, it's for my fat ass, it's important that I have to be able to sit or who's going to be there? I mean, what's the kind of the determining factor?
I mean, ultimately, right? It's the artist. I'll go almost anywhere if it's an artist I really, really love. And secondary, of course, is the community of people, right? So I think all the other things come after that. And parking, of course, I always have to drive. So is there a place for me to put my car is important.
Yeah, you've got to know, we got to create a YouTube channel just on that for you alone. Where to park in the city when attending EDM events.
For sure.
Because it's amazing. If the event's over at 2 or 3 o'clock, I mean, you have to make a plan. This is a good point because you got to make a plans for each venue. Do you know where you're going to park? I mean, you have an idea where you're going to park, but this is important for a lot of people who do drive in the city because you got to get back out and back home. I don't know how you do it, but I mean, each venue takes a plan, right?
Yeah, I have places for most venues where I know I can kind of find parking where I think is safe, but yeah, some of the new venues or unknown spots, it can be tricky or just unknown, right?
Yeah, you know what time that you can get there and what time, you're not. So do you remember your first ever Anjuna show and who you went with here in Northern California?
I remember because I was, I used to go to a lot of events and then kids like totally changed my life. And then during COVID, right, we're all sitting at home and I was like, man, I really missed that part of my life. And so I found AnjunaFamily SF group, right? And there was an event at Public Works outside during COVID or when the restrictions were starting to lift. And
was it Simon Doty?
No, it was 11. And Karen Bash played as well, which I didn't really know either of them at the time. But I had kind of followed the chat on the Facebook page for AnjunaFam SF. And I reached out to Marlene, actually. And she and I have this crazy connection, which is one of her longtime best friends was a previous roommate of mine when I lived in the South Bay, when I was working down there. But so Marlene and we kind of had met once or twice, but we didn't really know each other. And she had an extra ticket and I reached out to her and I said, hey, can I come? And I didn't know anyone. And so she had a table there and Eric was there too. And so that's where I met Eric for the first time. And just a super crazy, like that was the first Anjuna event that I went to. And as you know, like you just continue to meet more and more people as you go out. And of course the music was great. And it's during COVID, so it was so nice to be out and be social with people, doing something that you enjoy.
Yeah, and one of the biggest 11 fans in our chat, Fanny, she concurs. It was definitely that was the 11 show. So thanks, Fanny, for confirming that. Yeah, 2020, I went to a few events in 2021 as well, the intimate and just getting to know the family. And like I said previously already, the artist is nice, but it's more about who you're going to see for me and be able to sit down if I don't get VIP. That's why the barn in Sacramento is so awesome because, and I tell people, should I get VIP? No, if sitting's important, you don't really need to sit or get VIP because there's plenty of places to sit and get a good pizza at the barn. Shout out to the barn. And if anyone has never been to the barn in West Sacramento and the events come out, no matter who it is, be sure to go there because it's usually an all day, all night event. Or Earth One, Joseph there at the barn, they do a great job there. So, and again, your first event was what? Did you specifically say? Was
me?
It? Yeah, Sarah.
11.
Okay,
at the Public Works. Yeah.
That was the event that we talked about. Real quickly, not real quickly, but any plans for New Year's Eve?
I'm staying with the family. Can't ditch my family on New Year's, but I'm going to go to BOC the next day. That's a non-Anjuna thing. But then there's Nora. And if you guys are going to audio for Cree, I got to go to that. So hopefully I'll see you there.
Yes, Justin's hooking us up and we're going to go. And then we may go Friday night to Nora Impure plays at 10:15 Folsom.
Yeah, let's connect. I will be there for that one.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that. Maybe walking distance from my hotel. So let's see. Let me a little different sound there. Fanny, minimum age, for example, I'm less likely to go if age is 18 or plus.
I agree.
What's that, Patty?
+1.
Amateur hour. Yeah. I don't know how many events I've been to that are 18 and plus. It's mostly festivals, right, Sarah?
Yeah, and Bill Graham is 18 plus, so I rarely go there. Dream State's going to be there. Is that going to be 18 plus? Probably, I guess. I mean, I'll go to that because the artists are great.
Yeah, that comes up March 6th or 7th, and I've never been to an event at the Bill. I mean, other than AMB, but I mean a multi-stage event. So have you been to the Bill Graham, Sarah?
I have. When they had, I've been when they had two stages. I forgot what event it was, but there was some house music on the second stage. It was a smaller room, but it worked out okay. I mean, it's not my favorite venue per se, but I'll go for good music. And hopefully, I mean, I don't know if they're going to have two stages, I guess. But I thought it was fun at Cow Palace, and I'm hearing the headliners are going to be pretty good, I think. So it'll be worth it, hopefully.
And we don't know the headliners yet, right? It's unannounced.
Yeah, I just heard some leaks, but it looks pretty good from what I've heard. I think no A and B, unfortunately, but I think it'll be some good trance.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. If you can stick around, if you don't mind, how are your parents? You said they flew in town from the
they went to bed. But speaking of family and spouse, I have a steak dinner waiting for me. So it's a leftover holiday food. So I'm going to mute myself, but I'm going to stay and listen to you guys chat while we eat.
Okay, well, if you want to go eat.
Thanks for having me on. Yeah, look forward to seeing you guys this weekend.
Sarah, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Yeah, we'll see you this weekend.
Bye, guys. Good to see you.
All righty. Brad, how you doing? This is all new right here.
Nah, it's just getting more gray is all.
It's just there we go. So welcome in. I appreciate you coming in. Brad lives in Sacramento, one of my Sacramento buddies here. And let me see what we got in the chat. And Jippy, that's Daniel.
That's Daniel. Yep.
Oh, okay. Patty's on the message board. We got Daniel. Appreciate you stopping in. And remember that invite was out to you, Daniel, if you need a ride to the city on Friday. So get in touch with me if you can. So Brad, again, the obvious question or, obvious answer is, what was your event for 2025? I mean, I know you went to Open Air Sacramento, but also A and B.
Yeah, that's a tough call between the two. They were both great events. But they were both different events. So, Anjuna Deep, one thing. Being in Sacramento, I absolutely loved that. There was no way that I was going to miss that. So for me, having that 10 minutes from home and plus your pre-party and the after party, those all just made it a great event. And having so many fam from the Bay Area come up and then so much fam from Sacramento and all converging, to celebrate you as well. So I feel like that to me kind of leans it towards, the top event for me. But conversely, A and B at Shoreline was great as well. Making the trek down with some of the local fam, that was really cool for me. And the drive back, it was like very sentimental because it reminded me of my early raving days of going down to San Jose or San Francisco and making that drive back at super late at night, and it was cool. So that brought back a lot of really cool memories. But also the pre-party for that, seeing so many people that at the what was that bar? Little sports bar, I can't remember the name of it, but seeing so many fam there, that was a great thing as well. So
yeah, there in Mountain View down from the Shoreline, that was convenient because we stayed at the hotel right across the street, and that pre-party was definitely a blast. Let me see, plus video file. This is a little wonky, but all right, where are we at? A and B, my party, Open Air, my party. Yeah, so what Brad was speaking of is the pre-party that we had before Open Air. There's music playing at Reunion Underground. And this was Patty made that sign. Marlene helped set up. And that was
Looks amazing.
in our living room or bedroom with our cat at it. But, that was a blast. And I kind of put that together. And Justin, One-to-One Music, and Pixie, Taylor, a.k.a. Pixie, and Angie played. And then we all walked to the barn. Let me see. I've got a little bit more I wanted to add. Okay. And video file. Let's see. And play. Angela, you played the after party. That's right. And Patty and I were pretty much done after. That was a long day. But the Anjuna open air was amazing. And let's see, I got one more here. Sorry, a little clunky video file. Let's see. Well, open air at the barn with Latrell and Creed, two of my favorites. There's Creed. Time. Barn. Anyways, yeah, kudos to them. And before I show her another one, let's see. So, Brad, we talked about Open Air Sacramento. We talked about A&B, the epic pre-party. And then the one thing about the Shoreline, what I learned, I don't know where you sat, Brad, but if anyone goes to the Shoreline and you sit off just to the right or just to the left, we kind of missed the corner of the stage, which was kind of a bummer. Where did you sit for Shoreline?
So I was up on the lawn, but we got in there early enough that we got like right in the front of the lawn. And another cool thing though is that they didn't have like anybody blocking you from going down in that first section. So I was actually able to go down there and find a couple people and actually like catch up for a little bit and say hi. So that was nice. But view-wise, we had a great view. We were kind of off center to the right, but like I said, right there at the edge. So we had a great like raised up view. So yeah, we had a great view of the stage, all the lights, and taking it in from a distance, you are a little bit further back from the action, but you get to take it all in. So for me, that was another really positive aspect of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to sit on the lawn. My butt would be hurting because I did that at the Gorge one year, 2019, and I said, never again,
Yeah.
rent lawn chairs.
Being that we were there early enough, we got a really good spot that even had like a little almost flat area to where we could kind of dance in and enjoy that. It was good for a little while until more people filled in and took over the space. But for a while, it was nice.
Any other events in 2025 that you recall that you really had a good time, whether it was in the city or Sacramento?
Not really. I didn't get out to too much last year, or than the last year. So, those were the two definite highlights of my year for sure.
And did you go to Salt and Shepherd back in October?
Yeah, I did. That was a good one. Yeah, but one of the other ones I did go to was the non-Anjuna event, was P at the Capitol.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. To have a pretty big house artist come to Sacramento and play right in, like, it wasn't right in front of the Capitol, it was a block off, but it was still to have that really cool backdrop of the state capitol there.
Yeah, for a venue, again, important to me is be able to sit if we don't have VIP. So was there at the Capitol for P, was there places to sit, or how was the whole venue as far as getting drinks?
It was pretty basic as far as the setups. VIP had its own section and its own bar, and there was stage access VIP as well, so you could get that. But sitting wise, there was nothing, unless you had a table, which was buku bucks in the VIP. So unless you wanted to sit on the lawn, which you could have done that, but that would have been comfortable for very long.
So would you go again to another event? I mean, probably depends on the artist if they.
Yeah, it would depend on the artist. If it was somebody that I really wanted to see, like Malpi, I was like, I'm not going to miss that because I'd seen a few of his Tomorrowland sets, and I was like, oh, this is really good. So, that's one of my other loves is house and different types of house. So, it was definitely I got to go see it, and adding on the venue was worth it. So yeah, if there was another artist that I'm even half interested in, I would go check it out.
Okay, let me put you on the hold just 1 second.
Yep.
I've got some meds I got to take because I'm an old man, and Daniel can join us. If you have the link, Daniel, feel free. We'll be here for about another 30 minutes. If you want to join in, jump in. I want to find a video that for A and B that was probably one of my videos of the year while we're all at the shoreline. So give me a second while I find this. Let me see. A and B, my party. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so now ahead of the A and B show, A and B put out on their socials. Thank you. Put on their socials that if you look someplace, you could find out where ABTT 700 is going to be. Okay, so I took this video.
Improv in New York. We're trying to figure out.
There's Brad. Where?
Whatever the mileage is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Marlene, Angelo in the background.
ABTT fans.
Trans Mark Thomas.
So let's play that again. Sorry, Patty's boobs right there.
We're trying to figure out where.
So Brad, when we got to this sign and it said however many miles, I walked up and the first thing I said was the gorge. What was your initial thought?
Yeah, I was thinking something along those lines, but I'm like, it can't be true. There's no way they're going back there again for a milestone, because I've heard from so many people over the years that they don't go back to the same city twice. That was broken when they did London again. So, nothing's off limits at that point. So, but we were all kind of like Googling how far it was, like doing mileage searches. And, I'm like, I remember how to do the mileage, like the measure distance on Google Maps. So I did that really quick. And I'm like, y'all, it's 727 to the gorge from here. It's the gorge. And somebody else is like, yeah, everybody look at the signs. You notice what's not on here? The gorge. So that's when we're like,
yeah,
it's
right,
the
because
gorge.
there were signs from all over there. I'm texting Daniel. I'm going to text you the link.
Yeah, come join us, Daniel.
Daniel Martinez, boom, paste. And I just text Daniel the link for you to join us. Yeah, so and Transmark Thomas is here. He's on his phone in the bottom left, checking at the mileage. And it was just funny because there's the Transmark Thomas. We all think we know exactly where is that. And I'd be curious, Angelo, did you have an idea of where this was? So anyways, that was 730 miles. All right. Anyways, that was fun. All right, remove from studio. All right. So,
kind of LOL.
Brad, in Northern California, question I've been asking the guests on, an underrated venue that you like, it's or something that you might have learned. If you even go back to last year, since you didn't go to many events, but the overall, it's been kind of the barn for Sacramento. We appreciate that, but or just what are your favorite venues when you looking forward to when you go to the city?
I'd say definitely one of my favorites is the Midway, because they have so many artists. But then when you get there, you have options. So like I think probably the second or so, maybe third time I went to the Midway, and this is actually like I was coming up to visit family before I moved back to Northern California, and it was like probably Christmas time, and I found out that Moon Boots was going to be at Midway playing the main room. And so I go down there, and it's kind of funny, as I'm parking, getting out of my car, I see another AnjunaFam member. I think her name was Hannah Lerner.
I remember Hannah.
Yeah, so I chatted to her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to Kolsch on the patio," and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, have fun." I'm like, I forgot about the fact that they have everything, like access to everything. They weren't like stopping anybody from going into other rooms. So since I knew nobody there, I just was like, I'm gonna latch onto you. And since you're going to Kolsch, I'm like, sure, I'll go check it out. And I was like, I could see Moon Boots some other time. I've seen him before. So yeah, I went and like that was kind of one of the cool things I liked about the Midway, is that you go for one thing, you might end up going for something else. But either way, you're gonna have a good time. I like that it's so low key. There's no VIP bottle service, none of that. But I'm sure you don't like that aspect. There's not really anywhere to sit unless you happen to get a lucky spot on the patio, because I think there's maybe a couple spots to seat out there.
Okay, with Midway, you could sneak around and get that. But you bring up a good, and I learned about this in Midway early on. I went to go see Justin open for Olan. And at the same time, Marcus Schultz was going on in the main room. And I was like, well, wait a minute. You could pay $20 to go see Olan, or you could pay $100 or whatever to go see Marcus Schultz. I didn't know who Marcus Schultz was, to be honest with you. But so if you're wise, you buy the tickets to go see the smaller artists, right, for $20 to $30, and then you get access to everything, right? And that's what you just explained at the Midway.
Yeah, and like, unless the main room is like majorly packed, I don't think they're gonna really have any separation on that. So that is a good thing to remember, kids.
And Torchu, he's like, Midway is such a good venue. I do. I like the openness and I like the uniqueness. Sometimes it's just something on the patio, or sometimes it's big. We went to the Pride A and B in 2024, and that was packed. The VIP was packed. You couldn't really get away too much from there. Nene homie, that is
Naomi.
That's maybe Naomi. Hey, Naomi, you were just in the video. We just showed you at A and B. Anyways, when we were all trying to figure out where ABTT 700 was, that was hilarious. So, okay, so Brad asked the other guest, do you prefer an intimate club show, or are you a big outdoor events guy?
I'd say intimate club show, because being that I've been lucky to know a lot of people that are so into Anjuna, and I am too, but like they're so into Anjuna that they're connected with a few of the artists. And some of those smaller shows, I've been lucky to meet and converse with some of the artists. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I like those intimate shows, that you have that opportunity to actually have a human connection with some of these people that we look up to for their musical creativity and musical selections.
Yeah, it's like a big event once or twice a year, but give me the intimate venues, daytime intimate venue, of course, is the best of both worlds. But so
but the big events do have their pros. Like, I love that they do the big events somewhere else in the world, because that gives me a chance to go travel and to go see a show and to do that with a group of people. And I've been lucky to do that with several different groups of people over the years. And so, there's the pros and cons to each one.
Yeah, it depends on the mood that you want. And something this Saturday we're going to go see Create Audio, and I'm looking forward to going to the new Bergerac, which is now Bella. And I saw a few.
Cut out on me. Can't hear you. Oh no, still can't hear you. Okay, well that's me being unmuted. Oh no. Now I'm gonna have to carry the conversation solo. Okay, so the music is playing, but Darren cut out. Well, Daniel, thank you for your vote of confidence. Maybe do you need to?
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
I got mine down.
There it is. You're back now.
All right. I can hear.
Okay.
Brad, you can hear us now?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. That was me. This is a very touchy microphone.
All right. Well, Daniel did pose a question. He says, "What events?"
He asked if he can get in, and
January?
I sent him the link, but I can't. Yeah, he says it's not working. I don't know what I can do. Quick chat. Ask Brad a question. LOL.
Yeah, but Daniel did have a good question. What events am I looking forward to in January? So I haven't said anything yet, but I'm going to try my best to make it this Saturday to Cree.
Okay.
So looking at the arrangements, so I should know the next day or so whether I'm going to go or not. So.
Well, I offered, like I said, Patty and I are going up Friday, and I think Daniel going to catch a ride with us. We need to kind of get a hotel room. That's an option, but you can catch a ride with us Friday. I don't know what your work schedule, but we're going to leave around noon.
Yeah, I got to work on Friday, unfortunately.
Okay. Send me
Oh, wait, no, wait. What is Friday? Is Friday the 1st? No, Friday's the 2nd, isn't it? Yeah.
Friday.
No, I got to work Friday.
Oh. Yeah, Daniel, I sent you a link. It says, you said it's an old link. I think because we are live, I don't know how to get you in here. Love to have you, Daniel. Well, okay, let's go with the few. Okay, and the question I've been asking when an event comes up and you're going to a venue. Well, anything about the event, what's important to you? Is it that you know you're going to get good sound at the venue? Is it the visuals, the light shows, or the artists themselves, the ability to sit, or who's going to be there? And it's been, who's going to be there? And for me, it's more important is who's going to be there family-wise, instead of the artist. If the artist is good, that's great. But I look forward to see who's going to be there.
Yeah, no, I'd say I'm in that boat as well. The DJ is important. Like, I want to definitely hear some good music, but over the years, it's kind of what I've gravitated more towards is the community. So for me, it's not really about who's going to be there. It's, am I going to see somebody from the community of people that I've grown to know over the years? So if it's just one or two people, I'm happy with it. If it's 10, 20, I'm ecstatic. Either way, I'm happy. If it's just one or two people, then I get to hang out with those one or two people. And if I'm lucky, maybe I'll meet a couple other people.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what you're doing. And I'm like usually in chat rooms and trying to get people to, oh my God, no matter what chat room, we got to know what AnjunaFamily is. And then if they don't know what Anjuna is, you start from, oh my God, okay, how much time do you have to
Let me get out my whiteboard and start drawing all the connections.
It's crazy. So you remember your first Anjuna event and who you might have gone with?
Yeah, so my first real true Anjuna event was the Acoustic 2 tour. So not really the traditional But I went with my then girlfriend at the time. You know, I'd surprised her with tickets, and you know, it was a really romantic night and a really good weekend. You know, unfortunately, that relationship didn't last the test of time, but my love for Anjuna above and beyond has. And so I guess I'd say the real first event I went to was 250 at the Gorge. So that's why I'm ecstatic that 700's at the Gorge. But that was a solo trip for me. Like, I didn't know anybody. And that was my first time renting an RV. And I'd done this and like, oh, I'm just going to drive up in the RV by myself and, you know, just whatever. And then about, I don't know, a week or two before, I think it was like 2 weeks before, I went on to the the ABGT solo travelers group. And I was just like, hey, I've got an RV. I'm looking for a couple people to join me. Reach out if you're interested and I'll let you know the details. And a couple people got back to me. And it just was the most random group of guys. It was one guy, he was in college in Boston studying to be an aeronautical engineer, but he was from Mumbai, India. And then the other guy, he was over here to go to Burning Man, and he was like, well, I'm in the States, I might as well go to ABGT, you know? And he was a Pakistani-born Irishman living in Manchester, England.
Yeah. A melting pot for sure.
Yeah, so that was my crew, and we ended up like parked next to this group of guys. Actually, it was like two groups of guys, but there was these two guys in one car, and then this other guy in one car, and we all just kind of, the six of us were now a group, and then one of the two guys next to us, other friend, was like kind of staying off somewhere else, but he kind of was in and out of our group too. So we had a group of like 6 or 7 guys, and you know, that was my first like crew of Anjuna people. And 3 of them I still am in contact with to this day on Instagram. And so, you know, that's really cool that we've all been able to keep in contact. And one of them I ran into at the first Weekender, so that was pretty cool. So that was my first real Anjuna experience.
Thanks for sharing that. And am I getting a little sense of, when we talked about, when we found out where 700 is going to be, that you're a little uptight about that, or you'd rather see it somewhere else?
No, I'm happy to go back. I love the Gorge. You know.
Okay, you are going to go back.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to miss that. Like, with the Sacramento fam, I've now been so grateful to become a part of, and then to be able to see my friends from Colorado, my friends, hey Daniel, my friends from LA, my friends from San Diego, like, and then the San Francisco fam as well. So I'm massively looking forward to it.
Awesome, that's good to hear. What's that, hon? Yeah, Daniel, Jesus, man, working for the government might be is awesome, man. Look at that spread you've got there, man. Full transparency. If it wasn't for my green screen, you'd be looking at my kitchen. So Brad's got some coolness. I see his Brad's ironing board in the background, so that's all good.
Yeah. You can look at everything else but that.
I wish I could claim this space, but it's the default from StreamYard. Darren, Brad, good to see y'all. Everyone in the chat, hello everyone.
Thanks, Daniel, for joining us, the other Sacramento guy. That I'm intrigued by Daniel's story because he is a rideshare freak. He goes to the city from Sacramento on buses and trains and everything else. And Daniel, we did explore the possibility of taking Amtrak to, and this is off topic, but it is Northern California based, of taking the Amtrak for the first time to the city this weekend. But the cost, what'd you say, Patty? For 2, it's like $159. I mean, that's more expensive. So that's expensive, right? For 2 people on an Amtrak? It's because it's New Year's?
No, it's 76 a pop now. I just got back from San Francisco about a couple hours ago, so that rings true.
Oh, because it's the holiday season, but you.
No, I think that's regular fare.
Oh, so
Yeah,
okay.
I looked at it like a couple months ago, and that's what I had seen as well about that price. 76 was what you said, Daniel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'd be curious if anyone, in the chat that they take the train else or Flixbus. And Daniel, when you go, you've got people you could stay with, friends in the city, right?
Yeah, I have a fleet of fraternity brothers that I could stay with. But when I want some of my own privacy, I'd stay at the Bay Hotel, walking distance from Audio, because that's essentially my second home.
Okay. Okay, nice. So, Daniel, you go to a number of events, and what we've been asking everyone, what stood out for you in 2025? What was the show for you?
Sure. Well, everyone mentioned Above and Beyond, right? So I'm going to go ahead and mix it up. It's actually 2 weekends that stick out in my mind, dear and near to my heart. The first is Simon Doty. Simon Doty at Audio Memorial Day weekend was incredible. He was getting, prepared to bring that kind of energy to Albania in 2 weeks later. And so the crowd was amazing. It was packed, lots of friendly faces. And the cool thing about it is after his set, I was actually able to tell Simon, hey, see you in Albania. And he just winked at me, biggest smile on his face. You could see he was ready to attack that beautiful festival with his amazing music. And then the weekend that truly sticks out is, I put it in the chat, Marsh and Knox Vaughn did a show at 1015 Folsom in San Francisco, and I felt like there were so many up and coming DJs and collectives that were filling all of the rooms of the venue, the basement, the loft, the openers at the main stage. Knox Vaughn did an incredible job as direct support for Marsh, and Marsh, just had, he had a blast. He played, all the greatest hits. But then the next day, I believe it was Dosum was direct support for Nora and Pure, right? And so what Dosum did is he did the after party at Audio, right? And so I had some friends opening for Dosum, and then Dosum played. And that weekend was just 48 hours of Anjuna deep in the city.
Wow.
And it was just amazing seeing the same faces at 3-4 parties. Were incredible. I think I saw Sarah there. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah, but it was a good time. The Dosum after party at Audio.
I remember that weekend. We could make that, and I want to welcome Tree, our boy Tree from Project Wah here in Sacramento, to join the chat. We love what Tree and his collective of Project Wah does for us in Sacramento. We've been to many of his events at Reunion Underground, and they got a good thing going. Tree, I appreciate you being here. Bob Bowman has joined. Bob, how you doing? Hope you're feeling well. Looking forward to seeing you at the Weekender. I know we've talked to the Weekender stuff, and I'm a little tired of your Dodgers, Bob. I have to say that. Anyways,
Go LA.
Once or twice is fine, but yeah, you're cornering the market there, Bob. So
Don't forget Daniel's from LA too.
What's that?
Daniel's from LA too.
Go Dodgers. Anyway, yeah, those are some, again, the obvious events for Anjuna Deep Open Air, Daniel, and then, of course, Above and Beyond at the Shoreline. But I'm glad you brought up those, because I remember when I was new to all this music in 2018, Patty and I, we are really fortunate to live in Northern California because we have so many opportunities for these artists to come through, and Sacramento's, bringing up that end as well. We're not stuck in Topeka, Kansas. I hope no one's from Topeka or Des Moines, Iowa. But anyways, that's what I learned, is that, man, we are really fortunate to have that, this ability and so many different venues to choose from. So there is, let me see, Daniel, intimate clubs or big outdoor events? What's your dive?
I'm a club boy. I love being able to fist bump my favorite artists, have a drink with them, be, shoulder to shoulder comfortably, of course, with some of my greatest friends, and just being able to dance the night away and connect with everyone in the tiny room. That's always been my preference. But I'd be remiss if I didn't highlight that my favorite event of the year is an outdoor venue. It's Anjuna Deep Explorations, right? So like my favorite ever music event is outdoors, open air, dancing under the Albanian moon. But back home in the States, I do prefer the club atmosphere.
Yeah, well, I don't know that you could beat that, like, kind of outdoor venue in Albania. Like, it's tough to match those kind of vibes.
Daniel is our exploration expert, so if anyone is looking for stuff, I can hook you up with Daniel about where to go, how to stay. That's a little bit beyond the Northern California, and one day we will. Hopefully, we'll make it before I need a wheelchair. I wanted to ask you, because I'm 60 years old and I tend to lose thoughts, and I do have notes here, but if I lose a thought, I will not remember it. So I wanted to see if I can bring this up. So bear with me here. Screen share, Google Maps, share. Okay, let me see, bring to the stage. So everyone sees my Google Maps, right? And the reason I bring up Google Maps is I wanted to ask you, Dan, I think you went to the new Bergerac, Bella's?
Yes.
Okay, so for those of you who know that this is the famous 11th Street where a lot of venues are. We've got Buzzworks, but I've never been to Buzzworks. They have the DNA Lounge. Let me ask you that real quick. Have you guys been to DNA Lounge or Buzzworks? I've never been there. I've always heard of them.
I've had a slice of pizza in the late hours at DNA Lounge once or twice, but no, I haven't been to Buzzworks.
Okay.
I usually my MO is usually to pregame at Bergerac before going into audio, but now it'll forever be Bella. It is absolutely beautiful there, and what they did with the furniture is great. It feels like you're in a cabin in northern Italy. Although I'm sure once the summer months hit, they'll lighten the colors up and make it more Amalfi Coast theme as they advertise themselves to be, with hopefully some pastel blues and bright whites. But yeah, I am looking forward to going there almost exclusively to pregame before audio. So
here's some recent pictures. They just rebranded as Bella. Their food looks awesome. So I guess it's what's the decor you said, Daniel?
It feels like you're in an Italian cabin, and that was it. Yeah, and the food's delicious. The furniture is very comfortable, and I know you, Patty, and everyone here in the chat are going to enjoy their time there.
Yeah, so that's our plans for definitely. Let me see, get you here. For Saturday night for Cree, I was definitely going to check out Bella, because we were also disappointed when we heard Bergerac's closing. They're closing. So, anyways, yeah, looking forward to that. So, did my little Google Earth there. So, let's see. And about the venue, I've asked Daniel is, again, when you go to an event, what's most important to you? The artist clearly is one out, what most people think. It's got to be the artist. How important it is when fam is there, or you're gonna, oh man, the sound system is lousy. That doesn't matter, right? What's important to you when you choose an event that you're gonna go to?
The artist. I am not afraid, and I've done it a couple times, of going to a venue solo with only one or two friends that could attend. But just losing myself in the music and just taking advantage of whatever amount of time they're spending here in San Francisco, because you'll never know when the next time you'll see a favorite artist of yours in San Francisco or Sacramento will be, right? And if you don't just go for it, regardless of who's going to be attending with you or who will be there, you may regret that choice. And I've never regretted attending an event where I love the artist just because I went solo or with only one or two people. I always come back with those fond memories of every beat and every drop.
And you guys and Brad included, I believe, have been into this music a lot longer than Patty and I, and we've never really strayed out of the Anjuna umbrella because the catalog is so big. There's so many good artists and stuff. But I mean, I'm getting into watching a lot of YouTube videos on EDM music and things of that nature. I watched something on Skrillex. I watched something on Excision and learn their story. It's kind of for the B2B of my business, why I'm getting that and understanding these people and how they started and stuff. But you guys go deep. I mean, you've been attending events. Dan, I know you're from LA originally, but how young were you when you got into this music and were going to all these events?
I was in high school. Thankfully, Los Angeles, before, when I was in high school, rather, they were either really lax on the IDs, right? And so it was, over my high school years that I was attending these events. And it shaped me for considerably in all the right ways, I'd like to say.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that, I was listening to, I used to be into heavy metal and hard rock and 80s stuff, and I'm working from home, and I knew all the words to Sammy Hagar and Journey and Arthur Speedwagon, Scorpions or whatever, so I stripped it down to like someone suggested, listen to Seascape, listen to Yanni so you can concentrate while you work. So I'm listening to YouTube music and my algorithm throws in 250, and I didn't know what a 250 meant. I didn't know what an A and B was. I didn't know what the funny looking A was. I didn't know any of these things. And what happened is it played for like 5 days in a row, and Blue Sky this King for a Day song kept coming. I go, what is this? And All Right Now, those are the two songs that resonated. So I finally took a look at the YouTube and here's this music playing, like all the lights, and it was at the Gorge. Of course, I didn't know what the Gorge was, and I said, Patty, we gotta watch this. This is incredible. So, and then really what did it for Patty was Acoustic at Hollywood Bowl is, the mashup of Counting Down the Days and Liquid Love. Of course, we didn't know it was a mashup at the time, but to see that these guys are musicians first, and then they club it up, that's what got us into this whole genre. So I went straight from like the Scorpions and Judas Priest with a stop with Yanni to Above and Beyond and all this Anjuna stuff. So I have no history of Tiesto or Armand van Buuren or anything like that. So that's just how I started. Then of course, like I said, we went to the A and B at the Bill Graham in 2018, and then Anjuna Beach. In Huntington Beach, and then it opened the door. Then we got to meet more people. And one thing I want to say, I want to ask you guys, Brad, I'll ask you first, is that I remember going to, Patty and I went to Bergerac, February 2020, just before the shit hit the fan, the Marsh, right? Mm-hmm. And we were there early, like we're always the first ones there. So we and a few guys, we met the AnjunaFam San Francisco, went to a coffee shop, and there was Marsh just sitting on his laptop inside the guy. That's Marsh. And so we chatted with him, and Patty gave him a big hug, and he asked what her favorite song was. He started counting down the days, and Marsh opened up at Bergerac with counting down the days. But I've met so many family back then that you assume that you were going to see at future events, and a lot of these guys I've never seen since that. So the family comes and goes, and there's long people that I've known, Justin Duke introduced to himself, but I think Public Works. Prior to that, we saw him at Midway open for the trail, but we did, during the pandemic, we were all spread out, with masks and everything, and I didn't know one-to-one music. The music was good, but then he introduced himself and said, "Oh, you sound familiar. Are you 1-to-1?" He goes, "Yeah." So but I've known him. So Brad, speak to how the family of friends changed over time. People that you meet early, you never see again. Like Hannah, you brought up Hannah. She went with us to A and B at the Frost Theater, and then we never saw her again.
So that's just kind of how it goes. We meet people that have this shared love of Anjuna, and sometimes you see them again, sometimes you don't. But speaking of that Marsh show, I was at that show.
Oh, there was
Table that Raj and and Ed were at with a few friends. And so, yeah, I remember that show very well. And so that's like, I don't think we met then either. Like, but full circle, now we're pretty dang close now.
Yeah, Daniel, can you speak to that?
But before that, I have another thing to say about me and Daniel. Similar story. In 2017, December 2017, there was an Anjuna Deep show at Exchange in LA. I think, like, I don't know, we were walking back from Drake's Barn to the after party, and we get to talking, and he's like, from LA, and he's like, yeah, my first Anjuna event was Anjuna Deep at Exchange, and I'm like, 2017? He's like, yeah, I think so. I'm like, dude, I was at that show. And full circle, here we are. That's just how Anjuna is.
Yeah, Daniel, can you speak to that? I mean, how friendships and family have changed over. I mean, you remember seeing people that you met. I mean, let's keep it in Northern California because you're down in LA, but you think you're just going to see everyone at every show all the time, and that's just not the case. I mean, we all have lives and stuff.
No, sure. No, I mean, that's, yeah. I mean, life happens, right? And so that's why, going back or alluding to my prior response, right, on what's, most important to me when I go to a show is, the music. And, sometimes, I go to a show, even if there's like only one or two friends that are going to be there, right? Also, primarily because I'll never know when I'll see that artist again, but also I'll never know what's going on in the lives of my buddies, right? If they're going to get, married, or another kid on the way, or moving, aging parents, some sort of, illness or changes to their physical health, right? And so, you never know when your friends will have a change of situation, right? And so to those here on the live stream and those who will be viewing the recording, if you have the energy and you have the financial means, go to as many shows with your friends as you can, because you'll never know when the last time with that friend will be, right? And you want to bring those memories with you, not the memories of regret.
Very well said. I want to wrap it up with this. Best show ever, and this is outside of Northern California. Can be. I have an idea what Daniel's going to say. But mine, really, it's the Weekender, all three of them, and that's why I put a video up, my most recent video, The Road to 700. I've always done helpful videos about navigating the gorge, and it's my best watched video. I'm not surprised by that. I'm gonna have more live Q&A, but it's just beautiful. And camping at the campgrounds, you've got to do that. I don't know why you would want to get a hotel when you're at the most beautiful venue in North America. But 2019 was good, but I have to say, probably 22. We didn't know a lot of people in 2019, so 2022 definitely takes the cake for best show ever, and the set that they played and the people I was dancing with. So my answer is the Weekender. But Northern California or not, Daniel, your best show ever. And it could be combined, like if it's Albania and Explorations as a whole. If that's it.
Best show ever. I'll save the Albania for another video, but I do want to go back to the best show ever was here in California, and that was the Anjuna Deep 09 show that Brad and I went to. Independent of each other, December 2017. I was up in VIP with a good fraternity brother of mine who I'm dear and near to my heart. We're still friends, right? And so the reason why that night was so special to me was I used to drive. My brother used to live with me up here in Sacramento, and we would drive up and down the state. I would play Anjuna Deep 09. Memories of the Anjuna Deep 09 in the winter months. Driving him down for Thanksgiving, driving us back up from Thanksgiving, driving back down for the winter break. And so I'll always hold those memories with me. I love my brother very much. And that Exchange show in December 2017 was just the party version of those memories and those emotions. And so, yeah, that's why it'll take the cake. Exchange LA, December 2017, the Anjuna Deep show there.
Thanks for sharing that. Brad, about you?
Oh yeah, you're making me think on this one. But I have to go back to kind of the hometown kind of situation, but not a Sacramento show, even though that's my hometown. But when I was living in Huntington Beach, I was living so close to the venue, and I was exercising a lot back then. I still do, actually. But I was running and cycling along the beach, and I got to go every day while they were building the set and just kind of, here's where they are. And I was kind of posting updates along the way. And I also was working with some of the AnjunaFamily LA crew to find a venue for a pre-party. So I helped organize all of that. Then we had the pre-party at this place called, I think it was called Cruisers in like downtown Huntington, which I think was attended by about 50, maybe a little bit higher number of people, but it was awesome. Met a bunch of people there and had a bunch of people, had friends come there as well. And then the show itself was amazing. Above and Beyond did a great show. Neutrell was awesome. Lane 8 was there as well.
Oh, wow.
And I'm blanking on, there was a fourth artist, and I'm like,
Matt Zoe.
I
was there.
Yeah. So Matt Zoe, like, he doesn't play very often, like, so to see him was awesome. So yeah, just all of that, like the Uber situation was a nightmare. So I feel bad for anybody that didn't live walking distance, because I think it was about 1.5 miles, maybe 2 miles, but it was so much better. And, to be home and to take my feet into the shower and clean them off and get all the sand off, like before going off to the after party, which was just Pavo at time in Orange County, which is a super, super tiny venue, but that was amazing. So all of that combined. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I did go to an after party after that, which was the start of a friendship with, Raquel Martinez.
Yeah.
She's pretty big down there. She's a bit of a DJ.
We follow her on Twitch.
Yeah. So that was the start of a friendship that I didn't know was like, it just like, she was like, hey, a bunch of friends are going to an after party. And like one of my friends knew her friends, and it was like, okay, sure, let's go. And, 6 years later, or I think it's about 6 years, no, 8 years later, I traveled with her to a couple different things, went to Vegas a few times. So, she's definitely a great friend that I got out of this whole thing.
Nice. Well, listen, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I want to thank everyone for chiming in on the chat. I'm going to be doing some podcasts on this channel where I'm going to be interviewing and talking with DJs. Angela Melodic, you'll be up. Of course, the WA guys and others. So look forward to that. Please, like this and subscribe to the channel for future content. I'm still in the feeling out stage with Brad and Daniel. I appreciate you hanging out on the back end. And to get people here was kind of like herding cats. I'm not going to lie. It was tough. A few people couldn't make it, I guess, at the last second. But, Eric was here and Sarah was here. And sorry if I'm forgetting anybody. But, thanks for everyone for tuning in. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye. And
thanks for organizing it all, Darren, putting it all together. This is
we appreciate
a lot of fun and to reminisce and catch up. Yeah,
we'll do it again. And we'll see you guys this Saturday. Daniel will hook up about a ride possibly for Friday to go to Cree, and we'll go there and torch you again. I appreciate you, Fanny. Thanks for tuning in. Hope your new place there in the Half Moon Bay area is treating you right. And thanks, Patty, for modding. So, and Sarah, thanks again for coming in. So, anyways, love you guys. Sarah. Love you, family.
Bye, everybody.
We'll see you again. Thanks again. End stream.